Hey guys, welcome to Thrive and Drive. We are going to be putting an airlift on our my brand new Ram 3500. It's actually a 2017. We found it down in Houston, and I'll be completely honest, we weren't really even looking for a new truck. It just so happened to show up on a BMW lot, and we drove out there, we saw it, we met a lot of great people there, and they helped us out. And so we were able to let go of the Power Wagon, which was really hard to do, not gonna lie, because that has been through so many amazing things and have seen it. We've taken it off-road, did all sorts of great things with it, but we needed something with a little bit more power. We needed something that gave us a little bit more comfort because the kids are growing. So this is a 3500 Ram with a mega cab. So the kids got a lot more room. This has a lot more creature comforts on the inside, and so we're pretty pleased with it. We still have the old camper, we still have the reflection, that has not changed, so it's still a bumper pull for right now. We'll see how much longer that will be. Today we are going to be putting an airlift system on the 3500 that we just purchased. I know probably some of you are like, well, why in the heck would you put an airlift system on a 3500 mega cab? And it has leaf springs. This thing's way more truck than the camper, and which I agree 100%. But when we hook the truck up to sit a little bit more level, the reason why we wanted to see a lot more level is because, well, one, right off the bat is gas prices. If the front of the truck is sitting up and it's catching all that air, it's going to put a lot more drag on the truck, so we don't get as good as fuel mileage. So we want to increase that and make it better. Two, it's a lot easier on the truck when it's pulling. Gives me a lot more control because it places the weight from the rear and puts it back up onto the front tires, where we want as much weight on the front tires because that's where I'm steering from, and I want to be able to have as much control as possible on the truck. Anyways, well, let's get at it, and we'll show you we're going to show you what we're doing. All right, so we had the airlift system on the Power Wagon because it had coilover. If you know anything about suspension, that's just basically a coiled spring, and that was our suspension in the back because the truck was really made for off-roading. And so to help give it more flex, instead of using leaf springs, to also give it a better ride, that's the reason they had the coilover on the Power Wagon, which made a whole lot more sense. But for us, with us getting this truck, this 3500, this has leaf springs, so it has a little bit more stiffer ride, but it's also made a haul a whole lot more. It's got the 6.7 Cummins motor in it. It has the AC transmission. It's a 342 gear ratio. It's a whole lot bigger truck, a whole lot more power, but we want to give it a little bit better ride. That's the reason we bought airlift, put on this truck. So to give you guys kind of a little bit of what we have here, when we traded the truck in, we left the airbags on, but I went ahead and took the wireless one system off, and that is through airlift. You can actually go to airlift and get that wireless one system, and that's so that I don't have to like air up my airbags with a compressor. This is a compressor that's built into the airbags already, and so I can actually use my phone. It'll connect with my phone wirelessly, and then or they give you a little handy dandy remote that you can also use too, which is nice to have both options, especially if you're in a hurry and if your wife doesn't have the app on her phone. Like my wife, she doesn't have the app. She just grabs this right off the visor and she airs up the airbags real quick, so it makes it kind of nice. The wireless one system is, I'm going to show you right here. I know this looks like a hot mess because when I took it off, all I did was I just cut the line off, put a plug on it, so the airbags on the Power Wagon would still flate up, and they would have to just use an air compressor. And then, of course, this is the wiring harness in the background right here that's all kind of thrown on the back of the truck. So we're going to install that. It has a U-bolt that bolts on. As you can tell, that's where one of the bolts go. The other bolt goes right here. And so we're going to bolt it on and then get it plugged up to the battery. Of course, these are the airbags. These are the airbags that we picked out. They're the 5000 Ultimate. They have a bumper in the inside of them. So from the standpoint of while you're towing, it should give you a little bit better ride. So, all right. All right. So I have a buddy of mine. This is Lucas Hosteller, and he's going to be helping me out. It's funny because I just met Lucas, and come to find out, he's from Indiana. He's actually from Memphis, Indiana. Yep. So anybody on our YouTube channel that knows Lucas, make sure you send a shout out to him, okay? Because I know he'd appreciate it. Sure would. So, all right, well, we're going to dive into this, and we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and pop this open so that you all can kind of check out to see what's in the box, what you get from AIRLIFT. They do a fantastic job. They do have a 1-800 number to help you out if you need help. They are, so far, I mean, they've been great for us. I really like their product. I think they've got a solid product. We had it on the Power Wagon for almost 3 years and never had any issues with it. So anyways, go ahead and jump back into this. Okay, so go ahead and open this box up for everybody to see what you get inside. So what you get, there's one of the airbags. The other airbag that you get. So I'm going to place this stuff over here so y'all can kind of see what we're getting. Put that over here. Of course, looks like you get all your lines. You get your sticker, some ties, plates. I believe we got more plates in here for assembly for the airbags. Of course, your instruction manual kind of talks about the AIRLIFT, what type of, how much PSI you can put in them, all the other fun stuff. The rest of your plates that you have to put together on your airbags. Of course, another plate. The rest of your plates. Brackets that go on the bottom of your axle. Yeah. And then, of course, all your bolts, U-bolts. It's basically your hardware to get everything connected. So that's what you're looking at.
That's it. It's a lot of stuff.
It is. It is.
What are we expecting it to take?
Oh, I'm hoping take maybe an hour. I'd hope.
An hour.
Maybe an hour. It'll probably be 2 hours. That's how it works, right?
That's how it works. That's exactly.
2 hours.
An hour turns into 2 real quick. All right. Well, let's get started.
We better get at it. So I've kind of picked my placement on where I'm putting my compressor. As you can tell, I'm actually right here at the passenger door. So if I crawl underneath, right here next to the passenger door, you're gonna see. Oh, you're in there with me. Okay. All right. Oh, I can spread this over here. But like right here, you can see where the hanger is. That's where I'm putting. The compressor. And then I'll run my wiring right up to that tire and then go up before I get to the tire to the wheel well. And then I'm going to run my air line all the way to the back because I'm going to end up putting an air chuck so that if the compressor ever goes out, I can still air up the airbags if I had to. So, and then I'm also going to probably put, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that. I don't have a tank, so there's no reason for me to put like an actual chuck on there to air up tires, which I could. You could do that, but it's better to have a tank because you can get a lot more pressure fairly quick. If you use just this little bitty air compressor, it'll take you forever. All right, I'm gonna get back up. All right, Lucas, what are you doing down here?
I'm taking this bumper off of it.
Taking a bumper off.
16 millimeter.
16 millimeter for a Ram, right? Ram 3500.
Yeah. 5500 would be a 24 millimeter.
Oh my.
More leverage, it'd be great.
Hey, why is it so hard to take that off her?
Because it's rusted.
What else? I bet if you took that tire off, man, it'd come off a whole lot easier, man. Why haven't you done that yet?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he likes to do things the hard way.
This ain't my truck, or it would have had tire off.
I think we're about an hour into this. What do you think? We're close to an hour? Yeah. We'll go ahead and maybe 2 hours. We're getting there. So, as you can tell, airbags are still sitting there. But I do have the air compressor in place, as I'll show you right here. If I can get underneath here, there it is, air compressor mounted. So now I got to get the wiring harness all hooked up. Lucas, what are you getting ready to do, man?
Okay, put the nipple on this.
Oh, right on these things?
Yeah.
Right here.
Put the nipple on it, and then put the plate on it. And
Is that the next step on there?
yeah, that's what it's saying.
Look at that, man. He's reading the instructions and everything.
I'm looking at pictures.
I'm telling you right now, right guy, man, doing this with me.
You got the-
I got the
yeah.
right guy, man. Look at it. Even got a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers hat, okay?
Volunteer, man.
Right there, man. You don't mess with a guy like that. He got that hat on.
Well, I was in the Navy, so.
He's in the Navy. Hey, even better yet.
That's it. That's,
Even better yet.
that's the real brand.
Top secret stuff, man. You can see we got a jack just raising the back end up. I'll crawl underneath here. As you can see, there's another camera over there. But there's a brand new plate, and that's where the airbag will end up mounting onto that, and then of course right down there on the axle. Same thing on the other side. All right, I better get back at it, or Lucas is gonna think I'm lazy.
What's the nipples had on this thing?
All right. So of course, we're gonna hook onto the battery right here. I gotta pull up through here. I've got my wiring harness pulled to this point, right up the frame. And it's gonna go right up through here. And of course, it's gonna make the turn. And I'm gonna keep it away from the exhaust. The exhaust is just right here on the other side of the frame. So I don't wanna get my wiring too close, or of course, things won't work out so well. All right, so Lucas is doing a real good job. Me, not so great, but I'll show you what Lucas has already done. Lucas has already got one of the airbags in here. If I can crawl underneath there, I'll show you. So, if you look, there's my buddy Lucas. Say hi, Lucas.
Hola.
And then you can see up there, he's got one of them in. He's getting ready to mount the rest of the stuff in here. As you can tell, that hooks right onto the leaf springs.
Lock nut and done.
There you go.
Easy.
And you can see one almost 90% airbag put in.
Yeah, this is the easy part, really.
Yeah, good job, Lucas.
I figured it'd be harder than that.
Man, I'll tell you what,
Tell nobody that.
you're a good man.
Man, I can't believe you're paying me $20,000 to do this.
20,000. So on a diesel, you have two batteries, okay? So I thought I'd get the easy way out since I have this battery right here. See that battery? It's nice and all, but the fuses on a 3500 Ram are over here. As you can tell, see right there? That's where the fuses are. And I have to plug in right there in order to have, you get your constant from your battery. For your remote, you get your, you have to have it on a fuse in the fuse box for your remote because it's not constant. If you get, it'll just keep draining off the battery. So I've got to pull my wire off to this side. So yeah, so Lucas is a little ahead of me, so I've got to get my wiring from here over there. So. All right, there's one, and if you look over, there's two. Airbags are in. So the average Joe, could they put these in here?
Well, yeah, I'll say, I guess.
We're pretty average, aren't we?
No, I wouldn't say that. We have common sense. So.
Of course, there's the compressor. I got to hook my air line to it. Wiring's ran all the way up to the front. Wiring harness situation is corrected. There is a channel. You see a little pink wire? It has a channel here above that motor that runs all the way across over to the fuse panel. So I brought that pink wire to right here through the channel across the top of the motor to then go into this fuse panel box right here, which will come up. There's a little bitty hole right here. Yeah, right here. A little bitty hole. And we'll pull it up, and then I've got a fuse that'll plug in right here, and then we'll have power. Right here is the type of fuse that I put in for the AIRLIFT. I'm going to pull it out so you can see it. You can go to any automotive store and get one of these, but it just plugs in. You pull your pink wire in, and then this actually just you'll have to put the two wires together, and then once you do that, all you got to do is plug her in, and that's it. All right, so we got the AIRLIFT system on. I just hooked up the last air hose. Let me turn the camera around here. You can see right there, I think, yeah, right here. That's the air line. And of course, you got your air line here. That's going to the airbags. Now, we do have the exhaust, and how we got around this, the exhaust is up here on your axle here on the rear end. We zip tied it down, and there's another line that's zip tied down on top of the axle that goes all the way over to here to the other line. We just kept it away from the exhaust so the heat wouldn't melt that line, because it's plastic, and if that happens, you'll lose all your air real quickly. They do give you some heat shields depending on where you want to cross it. We just found that instead we left a lot of slack in there, so the movement of moving up and down there's plenty of slack in the line, as you can tell. So when it moves up and down, it won't be affected. So, but everything's mounted in, everything's torqued. That has a very specific torque that you have to put on each one of the bolts, so everything's torqued in, everything's ready to go. All we have to do now is plug it up to the battery. All right, everybody, we got the airbags installed on the truck. I have not yet inflated them, but as you can tell, if you look down in the wheel well, you can kind of see the new, I'll stick my head in here too, the new shiny airbags. No dirt on them yet. Anyways, they're in. A couple things. There's a hotline that will help you out if you run into any problems on installing the airbags. So I know I said it would take about an hour to install these. We started probably around 1, and it's right now 6. So yeah, it's not an hour. It takes a little bit more than that, and that's with 2 of us working. A lot of it was just laying it out and figuring out where the for the wiring to go up to the front, so that it's not touching anything important that might potentially get hot. The air lines going across, exhaust is where it's not, again, back to being hot, where it's not touching that either. So, but it's been a really good day. Lucas was a lot of help. I really appreciate Lucas. He's a hero. He's a volunteer at this U.S. Army Corps of Engineer Park here in Waco, Texas, and really great dude. He's got a great family. We got a chance to really hang out with them, and great. Just had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being able to install this. Again, he's an Indiana boy, so if you know him, please give him a shout out. Again, thank you so much, Lucas, for your help and being able to get this installed on my truck. It's not that hard of a process. You just need a little time, people, and you can do it yourself, just like we did. Fairly simple. Just the instruction manual is very helpful. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to the battery and then check it out, make sure everything's working properly, and then that'll be it, folks. I hope you guys enjoy this this edition on Thrive and Drive. Again, hey, you know, if you just now coming onto our channel, please like, subscribe, join us, hit the bell button so you get notifications. We're also on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So please check us out, and if you have friends of yours that might be interested in learning about what we're doing, we're traveling all over the United States with our family. There's a whole description of what we do, and then of course you can watch the videos. Please check us out, join us, hang out with us, be a part of Thrive and Drive family. We'll catch you guys the next time.